Hi there, and welcome to Conversations with Katherine. My name is Katherine Tatsuda, and I am standing here with my friend Matt Eisenhower. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
You look great.
Thank you. You know, I wore this special for this shoot.
Good.
So Matt is the executive director for the Peace Health Ketchikan Medical Center Foundation. That's a huge mouthful of words.
You got it, though.
Yeah.
You got it.
But the foundation is, can you tell me a little bit about what the foundation is? Because some people who are watching might not know.
Sure. So it's a fundraising arm of the hospital here.
Okay.
And so some people know and some people don't know, but it's a separate entity. So the hospital itself is run by Peace Health, but we also have this fundraising arm of the foundation that raises funds to either enhance the work that we do with patients or sometimes even expand some of the work.
Okay.
So basically things that we can't do through a regular business model,
Yeah.
through payments is the work that we do.
Okay, yep. And I've done a lot of volunteer work with the foundation, and I know that you guys have raised money to help put in like a 3D mammography machine. You've put the infusion suite, helped to fund the infusion suite for chemotherapy or anybody else who needs to have IV, pretty serious IV medications put in. So you guys have done a lot of work to help to enhance the hospital here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And those are through donations of individuals and sometimes companies that make large donations as well. So
Right.
good
Absolutely.
examples.
Yeah, that's so he works for the foundation. That's your main job, right? Okay. But I'm decked out in baseball gear, and so are you.
That's right.
So what's up with that?
Yeah, all those other things are just hobbies. You know, this is what I enjoy the most.
Serious stuff right here.
But yeah, no, I've been a baseball coach since 1995. I think I was thinking earlier today. So I've got 6 boys in a blended family, and I've coached 3.5, 4 of them. And so I love the game. I love youth sports. And so I've been involved with Ketchikan Little League. I've been involved with other Little Leagues in other communities that I've lived in. I've even been able to start some Little Leagues in Dominican Republic. And so lots of neat real opportunities to work with kids. And also most recently we've been doing some out of season work with First City Storm, which is affiliated with an organization out of Anchorage, as well as RBI, which is revitalizing baseball in inner cities and also underserved areas through Major League Baseball. So lots of cool stuff, but at the end of the day, I just love teaching kids. And I love to be a teacher. I love to hang out with them and see them grow. And why it's important for me to teach baseball and youth sports in general is that most of our education is important. It's cognitive, right? It's we're learning to think.
Right.
But most jobs in real life have to do with taking that information and applying it to some type of physical activity. And so what I love about youth sports is the fact that we get to teach how to take what you know and translate it into our physical being. And now it's easier said than done, because some of us have a knack for eye-hand coordination and some of us
don't. As we will see later.
So that's my main driver, and I just love to see kids develop and learn all the good things about being a good teammate and a good person and things like that.
Well, there's so many wonderful life skills that youth learn through doing sports like baseball. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's wonderful. So we're going to talk a little bit. I'm not exactly sure about what yet, but you're going to teach me some baseball. I haven't played for a really long time, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about where we're at, though. Where is this location? Because we are in Ketchikan, and I don't think many people have been in here.
So we're in what we call the hut, and it's the building that's outside of Walker Field, across from the middle school show and bar, and it's owned and operated by Ketchikan Little League. This is the area. This is our indoor workout facility. We have, obviously, you can see some baseball cages and some places to hit. We can take ground balls. Last night I had about 18 kids in here just doing pitching. So there were 10, 11, 12-year-olds, a couple 13-year-olds, and so working in the off-season of just learning pitching mechanics.
Yeah.
It's also a place for us to be proud that we've got our banners up from the different championships, and got
Those are nice.
the Major League Alaska champions. It was the last Majors Alaska State Champions was 2 years ago.
2017.
Yep.
That's
and,
awesome.
So it was fun. And
yeah.
But yeah, this is a fun place to be.
This is great. Well, especially with the weather that we've been having recently, where we've been having feet of rain falling from the sky. So what a great
And it doesn't
place.
rain in Ketchikan very much. So, a facility like this can be helpful once in a while.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, it's great. It's got recently been renovated and has some heating and air conditioning, so it's a nice place. We're very grateful to have it.
Well, I'm glad that I'm here, and thanks for being here. Should we play some
Absolutely. Do you want me to show you some basic stuff here?
Sure.
You've got in your hand, obviously, a bat. Now, I'll tell you a funny story. So I bought this by accident last year. I literally just took the plastic off of it today.
Oh!
But it's now no longer usable in competition.
Oh,
It's too light and too easy to use.
So
but
they've
I figured
changed
it's
the
great.
regulations.
They have, yep. And so
well, then this is perfect for me.
Yep,
then.
it gives you a little
Yes,
advantage. So now, just a little technical thing, it has to have a USA Baseball, which is the guiding organization across America that guides baseball. So it has to have that stamp, and there's some technical things. And a lot of that safety. What they found is these newer bats were becoming too springy, too light. The ball was coming off the bat too quickly and hurting kids when you're close. So they've deadened the bats, and here's an example of a newer bat, and that's got a nice dent in it already.
Yeah, it's nicely used. Well, before we started, I was telling Matt about my kids' experience with baseball. We did t-ball and coach pitch, and two of my kids played, and both of them got hit pretty badly by the balls in different ways, and so
it's not fun. It's not fun. These are
it's painful and a little bit scary. So
I've got some other little things I can show you. This is obviously just a regular 6-ounce or 5-ounce, 9-ounce, 5-ounce baseball. Spit it out. But what we do with some of our training is this is a weighted baseball. So that's an 8-ounce baseball. So when we're trying to build arm strength, we can have different weighted baseballs. So it feels like a baseball, it's just heavier.
Yeah, it's just a little heavier. Nice.
So we've got a whole slew of different weights that we use. And so that's one thing that we have fun with.
That's cool.
This is a heavy ball that I'll have you hit off the tee.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta hit off the tee. Oh my gosh, that is heavy.
Yep. So
Holy
this
smokes.
is for throwing. That's more for hitting.
So this one's 16 ounces.
Yeah. And so lots of different types of ball type things. This is nothing more than a fancy wiffle ball that's you can beat the heck and it won't break.
Right,
this isn't the one you buy at the 5 and Dime. These
That's a nice one. That one's not going to crack on you.
Nope, you can hit these real hard and they won't crack. And I see you've got some gloves on.
I've got some gloves.
Gave you a selection of gloves to
So
pick.
what do people normally wear the gloves when they're up to bat? Is that pretty standard? Okay.
Some baseball players will keep, if they're right-handed, they'll keep that glove on under their baseball glove.
Oh, okay.
Just for a little ease of comfort in there, but most folks will take off both gloves.
Okay.
But yeah, lots of different colors.
I look like I know what I'm doing.
That's right. But gloves are kind of the signature of a player.
Okay.
The kids will their batting gloves is pretty cool.
They're pretty
which
cool.
ones they pick.
Yes.
They can style and bling out a little bit of the different colors, and different companies
Show their
make them.
personality a little bit, right?
I like the little camo look you got.
Yeah,
picked out there.
Just trying to blend in.
I'll show you a couple other little things too. So coaches hit a lot of baseballs for practice, and we use these things called fungo bats, which are lighter. Basically, that's the difference than a regular bat. And this is an old one. I've had this probably for 10 or 15 years. And then they come in all sorts of cool different sizes and shapes. And this one is
fungo bats.
It's called a fungo bat. So you notice this is really long, right?
Oh yeah, that's really long.
And so the advantage of that is this is an outfield fungo bat. And so it with the same kind of swing velocity, the tip of that bat is going much faster than a shorter bat, and so it allows me to hit balls way to the outfield without a whole lot of effort. I'm not out there hacking after
so
home
that way
runs.
you can work the outfield players.
Yep.
yes.
Yep. So that hits a little bit farther.
Okay.
And this is, if you notice, this is a real short one. So this is an infield fungo bat. So if you're really nerdy like me, you can have two different fungo bats. I was telling these guys that this is a brand new bat for me, so I was actually just hitting it a couple times. So
that one's
feels
pretty.
nice. Yeah. It's got a nice paint job to it.
Those are great. Okay, and are these lighter, or how are they different?
They are lighter, so you
bats?
notice that first of all they're thinner than a regular bat. Because obviously the hope is if I'm just hitting a ball I'm tossing, I can hit that pretty well.
Right.
So it's thinner and lighter, and it just allows me to hit the ball. And that doesn't mean, coaches, a lot of Little League coaches just use regular bat, and that's fine too. But when you get to the older levels of high school and college and stuff, you really, these types of bats are really, really helpful.
Awesome.
So.
Very cool. So what are we going to use today?
Well, you're going to use this. And we're gonna teach you to hit.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'll give you that, and why don't we what we'll do is I'm just gonna treat you like I would like an 8-year-old that comes in, and I start with, and we'll start here, and then we'll go to a tee.
Okay.
I'll maybe do what's called soft toss to you.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll throw you some live pitches. And,
Perfect.
And see,
that's why I have the helmet.
That's right.
It's gonna be great.
Well,
I'm not nervous at all.
Yeah, you'll be great. So I have the utmost confidence in you.
Perfect. I'm glad you do. Thank you, Matt. All right. Well, let's get to it.
Yeah. So
perfect.
we'll start with the grip of a baseball bat, and it's interesting because I've got a 2.5-year-old, little Andy.
Right.
And for whatever reason, kids will grab a bat the opposite way. There's something intuitive that they want to swing a bat the opposite way. But basically, if you're right-handed, I assume.
I'm right-handed, yeah.
So you're going to put your left hand on the bottom.
Okay.
And then your right hand on top of it.
Okay.
And you're not going to grab it to squeeze its head off, right?
I don't want to choke
you want it to be kind of light, and see how it's in my fingers there.
Okay.
So if you lay it here, and if I had a couple hours, I'd do some other things with you, but
okay.
just lay it in your fingers and get it. So you want to lightly grip it in your fingers, not in your palm.
Not in the palm of my hand. Okay. And so my right hand goes towards the bottom. Mm-hmm. So in my fingers.
There you go.
Okay.
And you got it.
And I got it.
And one thing to help you remember is if you look at your knuckles, your second knuckles in, they want to be close to being in line.
Okay.
They don't have to be perfectly in line, but close to being in line. Now that's very different than if I were to grab it like a lot of nervous kids do, like I did when I was first, and I grab it in my palms, and you see how my big knuckles are lining up, and those aren't the ones you want lined up. You want it in your and the reason being is when you swing, your wrists want to be able to roll over, and I'll show you why in just a second.
That makes sense.
So that's your hands.
Down. Okay, yeah.
And again, this is fun because there's not a whole time, not many times in your life that you learn physical things. When somebody says, hey, put a knuckle here, put your hips here, put your feet here.
Right, absolutely.
And so learning the language of sport, I think, is really working on a young person's brain to help them think and focus.
Definitely.
Focus is key because it's hard to play any sport without much focus.
Right.
Okay, well, now we got the grip down.
Yes.
And so now we're going to learn a couple things. Obviously, we're not going to learn everything overnight, but that's an important part of coaching and teaching, right? Is teaching the right information at the right time. So the next thing is we're going to talk about your hips and your lower body, because believe it or not, when people think about hitting, they think a lot about their arms and things like that. But the truth is that your lower body impacts your swing more than anything else.
Okay.
And there's all sorts of little drills that we do with kids. You've probably heard, squash the bug and things like that. So you want to squash the bug?
Let's squash the bug.
Because that's fun.
Yes.
Whenever you're talking with the kids, it's funny. So let me take the bat from you.
Okay, perfect.
So the idea of squashing the bug is simply with your right foot, you're going to be squashing something.
Okay.
Okay. So if you get ready, and I always tell kids, your feet need to be farther apart than you feel like they need to be, which is good.
Good. Okay.
You're right about there.
Good. Okay.
And then you want to, almost as if you're sitting on a stool, you want to be athletic.
Okay.
So if I were to come up to you and push you, I wouldn't want you falling back.
Okay.
So you want to kind of weight on the balls of your feet,
Okay.
kind of athletic. But, so let's get the squash the bug thing down. And basically what I'm doing is teaching kids to turn their hips.
Okay.
So the only way I can squash the bug with my right foot to do this is to turn my hips, okay? So what we can do is just put your hands on your hips, and then you're just gonna squash the bug. You're gonna be turning that way.
But I'm gonna go this way, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
So you can follow me. So I'm gonna squash the bug. And ideally, your left foot's going to open a little bit perfect, and your belly button should be pointed at the pitcher.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Okay, right? And so what we would do is just set kids up, and we'll just do that a handful of times, and you just want to practice a couple times.
Yeah.
Good.
So something like that.
That's it. Yep.
Perfect.
And obviously, when you swing, you're going to do your hands with that through.
Okay.
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 And so we've got our hands, we've got our feet.
Our feet.
We've got our hips.
Our hips.
And now let's just talk about our arms briefly.
Yeah.
So some people get worried about where your hands are. Everybody puts them a little bit different. So I'd put them for you where you're comfortable together. Okay. And then when you go to swing, you're going to open your hips just slightly right before you're swinging.
Oh.
But the key is extend those elbows through. Don't hold them too close to the body.
Okay.
So you're here, and we're going to extend.
Extend.
Through. There you go.
Okay.
You got it.
I got it. I'm ready.
Okay, so let's do this without a tee.
Okay, we're just going to practice first, right?
And part of learning is repetition, right?
Yeah.
So I'll teach kids, in your case, we're going to say hands, feet, hips, arms.
Okay.
That's our lesson today. We got 4 things, right?
Hands, feet,
so hands,
hips,
the first thing
arms.
is you're going to think about is
Yep.
getting your hands
Got
right.
my hands, okay.
Next thing is you're going
Got
to
my
get your feet right.
Wide,
Yep.
okay.
And then on your swing, you're going to make sure you open your hips by squashing the bug, and then swing and extend those arms through. And then
do I straighten? Do I lock my elbows out, or do I keep a little bit of
you can. What I want you to do is just go ahead and get ready again,
Okay.
and slowly swing, and point the bat head right toward me.
Okay.
Just go ahead and open up your hips. So you want to be able to extend that bat as far as you can.
Okay.
Now, beyond impact, it doesn't really matter what you do with your elbows.
Okay.
But I can tell you, if your elbows aren't extended here, you're going to run into problems.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. Just you get
That's just
jammed,
how it
and
works.
you can't roll your
Okay.
wrists and other technical things we don't have to worry about.
Okay.
So
Not today, at least.
that's right. So again, hands. Think about your hands.
Okay. Got my hands.
Got your feet set.
Got my feet
And
set.
think about squashing the bug and
Squashing
extending
the
your
bug,
arms.
And then sending
Good.
it out.
And then the last thing I'm going to tell you is
Okay.
hitting is almost all about confidence.
Oh, like everything in life almost.
That's true. And so if, a big part of this is just relaxing and trusting the muscle memory that you've learned after five swings,
That's
which is good for today.
It's amazing.
And then just believe it. Believe that you're going to hit that ball, and more times than not, that will really, really help you.
Okay, perfect.
So go ahead and get ready.
So I'm ready.
And I am going to put this ball on the tee.
Yes.
And I don't want you to think much about that baseball, okay? All I want you to do is think about your mechanics and watching with your eyes that bat as it comes through, hit the ball. So we're going to do it the first time just nice and slow. We're not going to even be swinging very hard.
Okay.
So just again, think your hands. You got your hands
Hands
good.
good, and then so I start to turn.
Perfect.
Look
That's
at that.
It.
Look
Good.
at that.
I like it.
That was the only
Isn't that a
time I will
beautiful
hit that today.
No,
probably.
that's not good. Isn't that a beautiful sound?
That is. That's really fun.
So that's
actually.
really nice. My other favorite sound early in the spring, when it's not quite warm yet, and you'll come out here and baseball players will be out practicing and warming up, and the smack of the baseball hitting gloves.
Oh,
and
yeah.
sometimes I'll just stand there and listen to that.
That's a really special sound.
Pop.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, this was fun actually. Okay.
Good.
Woo!
All right.
Look at that.
Now,
Woo.
all I want you to do, and actually that's fine. I mean, you're making contact there. So now I want you to what I call a trigger, which is a little bit of a weight shift back. I wasn't going to teach you this, but you're hitting the ball. So a little bit of a weight shift back. And that way you're timing the pitch, and that'll be important for the live pitch. So it's really hard to do anything from a dead stop, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm just here and I choose to swing, that's really, really hard. But so what we teach baseball players is do a trigger by getting your weight moving, and then you swing until you don't want to swing.
Okay.
And if it's not a good pitch, then you don't swing. So I swing, swing, stop. and let that ball go by, or I trigger and I follow through.
Okay.
But
okay, weight shift. I got that part.
Okay, that's right. So just a little bit of a trigger weight shift.
Okay, so
and then hit it.
So we just kind of tip. We just go back a little bit.
Yep, but remember your feet to begin with are straight.
They're pretty wide apart.
So your weight's going to go back on your back foot just a little bit right before you squash the ball. Good. Well done.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now, I want you to swing as hard as you can.
Oh gosh.
And so remember the thing: hands, feet, hips,
feet. Weight shift.
And weight shift. We're adding some
hair
things.
in the mouth. Okay.
You got it.
Here we go. Hands. Okay. Feet.
Good. Woo! Nice. Now don't forget when you swing with those hips, let those hips go all the way through.
All the way.
When let me borrow that just for a second. When you finish your swing, ideally you want to be all the way that way.
Gosh.
That way I know you've got full extension of your arms completely.
Okay.
If you kind of stop right here, I know you've given up a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's move on to this heavy ball.
Let's do it.
And this will
that's
help
the heavy
you with
ball.
that.
Okay.
Yep. So this will force you to really extend those arms through.
Okay.
But every swing, we'll go back to the basics.
Yeah, okay.
Hands, your feet,
Hands, feet.
hips, squashing the bug.
Squashing the bug.
Good.
Better? Good. Well, I felt the difference in that weight.
Yeah, it forces you to really kind of push through. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not very impressive.
Okay. Yeah,
All
and
right.
I mean, I have not hit a baseball with a bat in a really long time.
That's good.
So, yeah, this is fun.
This is not
Okay.
easy to do.
No.
As a matter of fact, if you look around here, well, we won't, but we've got a lot of tees that are busted up. And there's a reason why they're busted up. It's because oftentimes we don't hit the ball.
Right, exactly.
Kids are hitting underneath it or even down here.
Well, I remember my kids playing t-ball. So.
Go through a lot of tees.
Go through a lot of
Yep.
tees, yeah, and a lot of tears.
It's true. It's frustrating.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Good. All right. You got the tee down.
Got the tee down. It's nice because it
So-
just stands there.
It does. And now we're going to take a step a little bit harder.
Oh, golly.
And I'm going to do what's called, you can stay right there.
Okay, stay right here.
And get a little bit closer to you.
Okay.
And this is soft toss. Okay, why don't you come a little bit this way.
Okay.
And go a little bit that way.
This
Yeah, we're
way?
going to still hit the ball that way.
Oh, we're still
Don't hit
going to
it
go
at
this
me.
way.
That hurts, even with this thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, I don't want to hit this
So
with you, Matt.
here's what I'm going to do. I'll explain what I'm going to do. So now we're taking it to the final level, and before we actually hit live baseballs pitching at you.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to soft toss it, and this is where you're going to get your timing of your trigger and your weight shift.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will show you the ball, and you'll eventually feel there's a tempo. I won't change it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do one to show you. So I'll show you
Okay.
the ball, and I'll go like that.
Okay.
And then you hit it.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Okay. When's a good time to do the trigger and all of that stuff?
So
I just kind of feel it?
normally, so I'm going to show you the ball, and right about here, when I'm close to releasing it, you're going to want to trigger
Okay.
and get your body moving, and then
Okay.
you'll adjust to where it is.
Okay. Okay.
Ready?
Got it. My eye stays on the ball,
You
right?
look mortified.
I'm so mortified.
It's just hitting the baseball,
I know,
right?
it's gonna be great.
Yep.
I just was doing
We're
so
not
well
curing
with the
cancer
tee.
here. We're just having fun. So, but I tell you, that's the way a kid approaches it too. It's just like, I have to hit this thing, or I'm a failure.
If I don't,
That's
it's
right.
the end of the
Good.
world.
Yeah. So just go through your mental notes again.
Okay. So I've got hands, I've got feet.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back. And then
Trigger,
we'll go
squash the
around.
bug.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. Here you go. Ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Good.
Ooh, not bad. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
close. Okay.
Good.
Hooray!
Good one.
Look at that.
All right.
Okay.
Do a couple more.
A couple more.
Nice. Good. And let that swing finish
Go
all the way through.
all the way
Yep.
through. Okay.
Kick that out of your way there.
So I don't step on
Twist
it
an
and
ankle,
fall.
yep.
That could be exciting.
Outtakes.
That's right.
Good. All right, you
Oh,
got
yeah.
it. Okay.
I just got to
now,
follow through. That's the hard part for me.
It is, and honestly, most people can hit the ball okay,
Uh-huh.
but if you want to hit it out of the infield,
Yeah.
you got to be able to extend that and get that
And
get
get
that
it going.
power. But that's the beautiful thing about baseball is you can build on little
Yeah.
things. Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think what I can do is is toss you some of these.
Okay.
Just real close.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we'll do is we'll get in the cage and I'll toss you some real baseballs.
Let's do it.
All right, Catherine, so we're to the live part of hitting.
Okay.
So you're in the cage.
I'm in the cage.
Here is home plate.
Home plate.
You know how wide home plate is
No.
in Little League compared to like Major League?
No.
Or college? You don't
they
know
all
all
the
those
same?
numbers?
They're-
They're all the same.
that's what I
Isn't that great? So we don't change the standards from when
Perfect.
there's a poor little Johnny who's learning to play to when you're a professional. It's
Oh, my
17
goodness.
inches wide, no matter what you're doing.
Cool.
So let me get you set to the plate,
Okay.
and everybody approaches this a little bit differently. But the key is that if you think about it, every time you step up to the plate, you want to have about the same distance between you and the plate because your swing is a lot of muscle memory.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll adjust to go either closer to the pitcher if they're slower or further back in the box if they're faster. But so what most folks will do is we'll take your hands on the bat and then you'll touch that plate a little bit, maybe like right in the middle.
Okay.
And then you'll feel. So you want to be with you perfect. Your toes right on the
Right on the
edge of the
outside
line. I
line
think
there.
that'll be perfect.
Okay.
And then you are good to go.
Perfect.
So our next step, instead of me standing off the side of tossing you, I'm going to stand out in front of you at an angle. And again, we're using still the soft baseballs.
Okay.
So this doesn't change, right? You're still
Right.
meeting the ball. You're going to be able to meet the ball out in front of the plate with your swing. So again, it's just putting these pieces together from hitting off the tee.
Okay.
Except now it's going to be moving at you at a little bit of a different angle.
Okay.
It's the same thing. I'm going to put my hand out and give you a little bit of a tempo. So,
It's gonna be great.
all right.
Yeah.
So good discipline. You're going to think about your hands, your feet, your hips squashing the bug. Actually, with you now, it's a weight trigger.
Weight trigger.
Before you squash the bug. And good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Nice. Good job. Is that fun?
It's like I've been practicing at
That's right.
home or something.
Come on, yeah, you're gonna. You've been home hitting off a tee this whole couple weeks as we were leading up on
I'm
this.
filming with Matt. I'm filming with Matt.
You're looking great. All right, here we
Okay.
go. A couple more.
Okay.
Nice, Catherine. Okay, good. Now let's practice finishing
Yeah,
that swing.
that's my
all the way
only
through.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not unique to you. That's a
Oh,
hard,
good.
hard thing to learn.
Okay. Perfect.
So one of the things that can help you is be thinking to yourself, extend those elbows, especially, I'll teach folks palm up, palm down through
Okay.
extension, so your palm's up. I don't want you really thinking much about that, but as you extend those elbows, that gets that extra little bit of a power, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yep. and you don't have to stop that swing.
That's, I
I'm
can
gonna
just
grab
keep
one
going,
more.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And we'll go to the real deal here.
Oh golly, no more wiffle balls?
No more wiffle balls. Here we go.
Okay, ready.
Good. Excellent. The other thing is, as I was talking about before, is a good teacher knows to know what to say when.
Right.
And you give too much information to somebody and it just starts to information overload, which is a lot of the fun of the art of coaching.
Yeah.
Is that although I've learned all sorts of methods and been in different situations, every kid's different. And
Right.
you take them where they're at, what they're able to do on that day.
Right.
Because some kids on a great day can do more than others.
Yeah.
The same with you and me. When I'm corrected or worked on by people around me, there are days that I'm going to listen and be a little bit more receptive than
Yeah.
others. So
Absolutely.
kids are no different.
Yeah.
So why don't we shift to some real baseballs?
Okay.
And I'm going to get behind the cage here.
You're gonna get behind one of the safety
Screens,
protectors
because you're going to hit
Perfect.
this so hard right
Oh,
back up
man.
the middle.
Okay.
Yep. And so what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm just going to do it underhand, okay?
Okay. Underhand.
All right. So for you, just go through that mental discipline checklist again for just a second. Good.
That's the hard part. Okay, we'll get it. We'll get it.
Here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
You're live hitting.
Live hitting. Okay.
Good.
Did not hit the camera. Yay, me.
Maybe we'll only do a few of these, as long as we got you hitting one.
Boy, that feels a lot different from the wiffle ball.
Okay. Good. Good take. All right. Glad you're wearing a helmet.
I know,
Good job.
me too.
Well done.
That was great.
How's it feel? Does it feel good to hit a baseball?
It feels good to hit a baseball. Yeah. They're a little scarier than those little wiffle balls are, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll tell you what. Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good swing.
Okay.
Good, well done.
Ooh.
All right, one more.
Okay.
And I want you to think positive thoughts.
Positive.
Right? You're a hitter now. You know what you're doing. I can tell by your swing, just going from the wiffle ball to a real baseball. Nothing's really changed.
Okay.
Your swing's still the same,
Woo.
but I sense a little bit of tightness.
Yeah, there's a little bit. Well, it
right?
feels. I mean, I can feel it when I smack
different,
it.
yeah.
It's there's an impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But remember, everything's the same until impact.
Right.
And then by that point, once you make impact, that split second,
Yeah.
kind of it's over.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do, and this is a big part of any sport, is
Okay.
just mental, right?
Yeah.
You're a hitter. You know you hit. You've already proven it a few times. So relax, have a little fun,
I'm having fun.
and you're gonna get into this one.
This is gonna be good. Okay. I'm ready.
Oh, that's
We'll
a
do
bad
another
pitch.
one or
That's
two.
on me. That was
Now that I have all these positive
low
thoughts.
heat. That's right.
Okay.
Wow, good. You got a hold of that one. Good.
Yeah.
I don't want to break the camera.
Oh, that was awesome.
Nice job.
Thank you.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. Can we
Yeah.
do a little bit of catch? Because that's always
Absolutely.
been a hard one for me. Let's
Yeah.
do some catch.
Okay,
Perfect.
good. All right, so we're moving on to fielding and
Fielding,
catching.
okay.
And I'll tell you a quick story first of all, or before we do anything else. So I played at Osborne Park High School in Northern Virginia with a gal by the name of Julie Croto. She was a first base player a couple years ahead of me. And she was the first girl to actually play NCAA Division I baseball.
Wow.
And I grew up kind of in the same neighborhood as Julie, and she was the one who actually taught me how to catch.
Oh my gosh.
So my dad did a lot too, but Julie was around, and she was I think 3 years ahead of me, but showed me a lot about catching, particularly playing first base. And she was also in the movie League of Their Own.
Oh,
Remember that movie
yeah.
with the female baseball league
Yes.
and stuff like that. So I learned how to field and catch by Julie. So I'll show you a little bit.
This is awesome.
The first thing I'm going to do is take the glove off.
Okay.
Because gloves are just bonus, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, we're just catching a baseball, which isn't really hard to do.
Okay.
Unless the ball's going real fast
Yeah.
and starts to bounce and do certain things.
Okay. You have a fear of the ball.
Yeah,
That's
true.
real too.
And so a couple things that we'll talk about with fielding. Sometimes you'll hear coaches will say, "You get your butt down." I don't know if you ever heard anybody. You ever heard? So sometimes if you hang around a baseball field long enough, you're going to hear
Okay.
it. And that's not altogether true. But what they're trying to do is oftentimes when we go to field a baseball, you're right. You're fearful of the ball, so you'll stay up like this, and the ball will shoot
Between your legs.
underneath your glove, right?
Okay.
So, and this can be tough on your legs, especially if you're not used to doing this.
Okay, perfect.
If you
This
squat
would be
down,
great.
practice your squats. But the key is to get your shoulders down and your head up. Okay, that way you're seeing the ball and the gloves out in front of you.
Okay.
I can't really do it, but because I'm old and can't do these things anymore. But if my butt's way down and my head's way up and my shoulders up, it's really hard to field.
Oh,
Plus,
that's bad for your knees.
bad for your knees, plus my
Golly.
glove is
Yeah.
trapped between my knees. But a lot of little kids will do that, and they'll say, well, I'm getting my butt down. So the key is to get your shoulders down, your
Okay.
head up. So actually, you see how my butt's up?
Yeah.
It's more up than down.
And your
the
back's
problem,
flat.
Right, my back is flat with the ground, my head is up so I can see the ball, and then my hand is out in front. I've got lots of movement to field it.
Okay.
Plus, to be honest, if there's a bad hop, it's less likely to hit me. If I'm up like this, that's going to hurt.
Right.
A bad hop here, it's probably just going to shoot right between my legs.
Okay.
So, let me grab a baseball.
Okay.
So, just like with hitting, you can think about some mechanics. The difference between hitting and fielding is fielding is fast,
Okay.
and no ground ball is typically the same because
Right.
you're moving to it, moving back, forward. But in general, you want to try to be balanced such that your left foot, if you're a right-hand thrower, your left foot is a little bit in front of the back.
Okay.
That keeps you athletic and able to move, particularly in what we call the ready position.
Okay.
So if I'm standing out here getting ready for a hit, it's hard, right? Because it's hard to move from this spot.
Right.
If I'm down here and on the balls of my feet, I can either back up, I can go side to side.
Yeah.
And so a lot of fielding is being in the right spot at the right time.
Okay.
That's in youth baseball, that's really key, is getting the kid where
Okay.
they need to go. So, but your left foot's typically a little bit in front of your right foot, and in part because after you field the ball, what are you going to have to do with it?
You're gonna have to throw it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that if you can be in a better place to throw it, you have an advantage. If my right foot is like this, and I'm having,
Okay.
and sometimes you do have to do this, but if my right foot is forward like this, I have to take a bigger step here and here to get in a throwing position.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
ideally, I want to be able to field the ball and bring it up into throwing position.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we don't even need a glove for that.
Okay.
So I'm going to see you in a ready position.
Ready position.
So your back is kind of flat to the ground, your hand is out, and I'm just going to roll that there. Good. So now I'm going to give you a glove.
Okay.
It's a Rollins Gold Special.
This is. I had a few of these roaming around my house. And this is a kid's one, right?
It is.
So
Yep.
it's a little
It's
small.
a youth one.
Okay.
So and in a ready position, the other thing too is that we teach our hands are out not to catch the baseball, but to help you move. And so
okay.
a swim move, if I have to dive to my right real quickly, I go like this.
Okay.
Use my hands.
Yeah.
So if my hands are right here and I have to go like that, it's a lot harder.
Okay.
So our hands are out here not necessarily to get a baseball, although a hard line shot, it's helpful
Right.
to have your hands there. It's more of how do you move. Use your hands to move left and right.
Oh, okay.
So, but back to your glove, fielding, stick your glove way out. And you want to have your palm up like this, not
Okay.
like that, because
Oh,
if it's
okay.
down,
Yeah. It'll
it's just
go
going
right.
to roll right up.
Oh, okay. So
So
like
you want
that.
to catch it more like that,
Okay.
and then your right hand is there,
And it goes
and then you
into it.
just cover it up, you cup and
Grab
throw.
it. Throw it.
Yep.
Gotcha.
All right, you ready to try a couple?
Ready to try a couple.
Okay. So I want you,
Oh golly. You want me to, am I good where I'm at?
you're good?
Okay.
I'm not going to hit hard.
I hope not. Okay.
Here we go. Yeah, see, it's a half swing is harder
I
than
got
a
it.
full swing.
I
You
got
it. Matt takes Catherine out. And all right,
I
here
have
you
a
go.
helmet.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that's true. You're still wearing a helmet. You're good. All right, good. Ready position?
Ready.
Boy,
Would you
I'm
like
so
me to
afraid
teach
I'm
you
gonna.
how to hit?
Yeah, that's right. Good one. I'm afraid of a
You're
full
so-
swing. I'm gonna crush you.
It's okay.
Here you go. Ready?
I'm ready. Oh.
There you
look.
go.
Here we go.
So, what was your instinct there with your feet?
What was my instinct?
Do you remember?
No.
You backed up,
Oh, okay.
which is a normal instinct when a ball's flying at you.
Okay.
A better instinct, though, is to go through the ball.
Okay.
So if you can get those
You
feet
get it.
to go through the ball, and that way you'll come up. Because again, it doesn't help you if you field the ball but can't make a play.
Right.
You got to be able to throw it.
Right.
All
Okay. I was just so excited it got in my
I
glove.
know. It's never enough for me, you know. I know. All right, here you go. Ready?
Ready.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So cover that ball up so it doesn't bounce out.
Right.
Good. Nope, that's all right. Leave it.
Okay. I'll chase it. I'll
All
chase
right.
it.
So now we got a leg workout. We'll just do some catching.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
was feeling those in my glutes.
Yeah, it does. After doing that for 2 hours with kids showing them, I feel
man.
it at home. So the same principle when we catch a pop up or a throw is to make sure that both of our hands together. That's why I took your glove off at first,
okay.
because a lot of kids will think, hey, I've got a glove on, so I just need one hand.
Right.
And that isn't necessarily true. You can use two hands. It's really, really helpful.
Right.
So if you hold the glove up like that, ideally you want your thumb to be about right there. That way, as soon as it hits the glove, you're going to
Goes
cover
in.
it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
you
I
hold
know
them up
it's-
together.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
Or
hold
you-
it right there from the whole time. But as the ball is coming up, you want two hands.
Okay.
And the second thing I'll say today, and this is 90% of catching a ball, is head behind ball. So, and that's easier said than done.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is when you, here, I'll give you the ball.
Yeah.
So you throw me the ball.
Okay.
So I'm gonna catch like that. See how my head's right behind it?
Yeah.
So try that again, maybe throw it over here. So I'm gonna move here and get, so whether it's low or high or off the side, if I can have a kid get behind the ball, it makes a world of a difference.
Okay.
Because we have this tendency of reaching for it.
Yeah.
And then that makes it harder. But if you see it come in.
Yeah, because then your arm is all over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you catch, let's get your head behind it and see it into your glove. Okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Yep, ready.
Good. And try to literally stick your head down right behind it.
Okay.
Okay?
Ready.
Good. And when it's low, you can go down. Good. Because believe it or not, most of catching is seeing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. So if you can teach a kid to move their feet and get their head behind the ball, and it's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Because it can be scary when you're catching one.
I'm scared.
Good. All right. Now, the last thing I'll teach you is what we call an outfield drop step.
Okay.
So when you're playing in the outfield, the key to a good outfielder is you got to cover a lot of ground, right? Because it's not like a shortstop where you just got to cover a little bit. You got to. So your first step to the ball is really, really important.
Okay.
And what we don't want to do is if we're going backwards as an outfielder, I don't want to run like this. That's pretty slow.
Okay.
So what we teach our outfielders to do is a little bit like hitting, where we're going to rotate our hips. So our hips are here, my head is that way. So I'm actually able to run backwards like this while watching the ball.
Yeah.
And we'll do lots of drills to either go to my right and go back.
Okay.
And circle out the fly ball or to the left.
To the left. Okay.
And so, because it feels pretty goofy when you're running backwards and you trip and you fall and you have fun and everybody's enjoying it.
And then it's a replay over and over and over again, right?
So what we're going to do is have you practice your drop step to your left side. So you're in a ready position.
Ready.
And so what you're going to do is drop your left foot back, and then you're going to start to run like this. So we're just going to take a couple steps like that.
Okay.
While looking at me.
Okay.
Okay. So one more time. We're going to drop step back, and we're going to run like this. So our shoulders are pointed that way, our head's that way.
That way.
And that way we can catch the ball.
Okay.
All right. Try with baseball?
Okay. This is going to be great.
Actually, just why don't we do it without a baseball first? So
Yeah.
drop, step, go.
Okay.
Perfect. Good.
Okay.
And the other thing is when we run in the outfield, we're running with our arms until we're ready to catch.
Okay.
Because you did what a lot of folks do. You kind of run like this, but it's hard to run quickly that way.
Yeah. So
Take a couple steps until you see the ball. That's right. Perfect.
Okay.
And then you catch it.
Gotcha.
All right. So I'll say hit that way. And I toss it. Good. Perfect. You got it.
Woo!
One more time.
Yeah, one more time. Okay.
All right. Hit. Nicely done.
Thank you.
High five. You did it. You're an outfielder and an infielder.
I'm an outfielder, I'm an infielder, and I can hit.
And now you're going to be on the softball team.
This is amazing.
All the clubs in town are going to
be banging down my door.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's sit down and let's talk a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. This is fun. Gosh, that was a lot of fun.
Good. You did great.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed.
Well, I think you're a great coach and a great teacher.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did you get into coaching baseball?
Well, I think, like a lot of things in life, it evolves. And I think when I was younger, I played high school and I played a little bit in college.
Okay.
And but I think as I got older, I realized the fact that opportunity is important with youth sports. Sports was not a big priority in my family growing up. And that's not a knock or a criticism. It's just in my family we did other things. Music and the arts and education was really important.
That's the same with my family.
Yeah, and so I loved baseball from a very early age, but my dad didn't really know what it meant to get you involved in anything but Little Leagues. I did Little League, but I didn't understand the concept of fall baseball. I remember being at a minor league baseball game, the Prince William Cannons in Northern Virginia, and I remember overhearing a group of kids talking about a fall ball program. And And that was the way I got engaged. But as I've gotten older and I've had lots of kids, just enjoying seeing them develop, it's also shown me that opportunity is important. And even last night when I was working with the kids, one of the things that we talked about was, what does it mean to try out for a team? And what are some things that you think about when you try out? And those are things I never learned. No one talked to me about that. Also, the technology has changed dramatically. You know, you can get on YouTube and watch a lot of these things. So, I started coaching a high school team right out of college in Northern Virginia, and took a little bit of a break after that while I had little kids. And then as they got to the age of coaching or playing baseball, I was able to do that with them. And
nice.
I had some opportunities I mentioned earlier about working in Dominican Republic with actually Nelson Cruz, who's a Major League Baseball player that played in Seattle for many, many years. But this was way before Nelson was actually making it big. And so he and I were buddies, and we started a little league in his hometown, and through some church work that I was doing back
really
east and some ministry. So
that's special, yeah.
So I've kept with coaching and love it.
And you love it, yeah. So you're from Virginia, is that okay?
I grew up around Washington, D.C.
Okay,
yeah.
Wow.
So I spent a number of years in North Carolina, and so I've got kind of three areas of my life that you can check vocationally as well as geographically. So in North Carolina, I actually got my master's in cardiovascular technology, so it's a health-related field of angioplasty and stents and things related to the heart. And so I worked in a hospital for a little bit, and then I moved into research and development. And then I decided, I've been working on the physical heart for a long, long time. I actually went to seminary in my late 20s to become a pastor. And so I was a pastor for a number of years.
That's incredible.
Ultimately was a chaplain in the Army toward the end of my late 30s. Actually right around 40. And just prior to me moving to Ketchikan. And I decided after that experience I wanted to do something back in healthcare. And so I had an opportunity through a friend of my sister married a commercial fishing family in town. You know Becky real well, so you know their
neighbors
story.
Of mine.
And Peter Rice, who's our medical director, Dr. Rice, many folks know commercially fished in his early 20s before he went to medical school. So he knew my sister's in-laws family real well. And so I'd visited a couple times and met him, and had an opportunity to come here to do some innovative work within primary care, which is preventative work. And so that's why I came, and then moved into added the foundation to some of my work as well. And
so being the executive director of the foundation, that's your basically your main job now, is that right?
Well, I wear two hats. I'm administrator at the hospital, so overseeing the foundation is one of those. I also oversee our community health development. So those are areas of work that's outside of our hospital, and work that we do, what I call upstream work, prevention work. So some of that work is with our school district, or Aquila, which is a partner in town with behavioral health, or KIC. And so there are areas of which we can collaborate with other community organizations to do some preventative work. Because what we're finding in healthcare, and this isn't rocket science, is that if we can prevent a lot of the things that people struggle with, whether it's diabetes or hypertension or chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, there are certain things that we can do to prevent that keep you out of the hospital and healthier and happier and a little more fulfilled life. But it takes a little bit of work. And honestly, hospitals and clinics, we're really good at fixing you when you're broken or sick. We're not maybe as good as doing some of that preventative work. So those are the two main roles. And the foundation has been a really pleasurable experience, because it taps into areas, like I said before, in the sense that we're trying to expand or enhance some of the work that a typical hospital does. And philanthropy makes good organizations great. Whether you look at universities or other hospitals, when you have good philanthropy and fundraising, it really takes it to a new level. And it's amazing to me to see the sacrifice that people give. Most of the time people will give out of two reasons: either gratitude for the care that they've given, and sometimes it's out of an abundance. You know, they've been given a lot in life, and they want to give it away. But contrary to popular belief, you know, our work as fundraisers is candidly very easy. You know, I don't manipulate, I don't push. I'm just a conduit when people want to give toward good causes. I'll sit and I'll explain some of the things that are going in the hospital, maybe meet some leaders and things like that. And that allows them to give in places that they want to give.
Right, absolutely. Well, and I know, you know, there have been families who have donated to help to bring something that maybe was close to their heart. I'm thinking about like the Cancer Resource Center that opened up, I think, last year or early this year, right? Yeah, so the Brindle family helped, you know, had like a seed donation, and then the foundation raised money to help with that.
And it's a reminder that, you know, we stand on the shoulders of people who have gone before us, and the Brindles had a deep legacy within our town many, many years ago. But haven't lived here for quite some time. But they look back to the care that they received many, many years ago with the physicians and the caregivers that we've had, and they had a need to give back, and then they did that. And they had experienced the Cancer Resource Center down south and said, wouldn't it be nice for Ketchikan to have one of those? So I sat down with them and we looked at some models and made some decisions, and so we made a major gift to make that a reality of the space as well as the staffing and the supplies that we use. So, Yep. Matter of fact, I was in there today talking to Jackie Jones, checking out the space and seeing what she's done with it.
Absolutely. So. Well, I know that, you know, and I said this earlier, but really the work that the foundation does is you enhance the services that are available to us in Ketchikan, and I think that's fabulous, especially with, you know, just even offering a chemotherapy suite, so that people can stay here and have that medication, have that treatment done without having to, you know, leave town and be gone for significant periods of time. That's all really special, and that's all really important. So,
well, and that piece, the infusion suite, actually led to the thoughts behind the Cancer Resource Center, because when people have been either newly diagnosed with cancer or some type of new therapy, oftentimes they need a space to kind of understand that. Maybe they need some wigs or some scarves and things like that if they're going through some chemo that takes their hair. And so that's just a safe space to do that. And we've learned, and we've known this for many, many years. My grandfather was an old country doctor, and he taught me from a very young age that teaching is about timing. Probably a lot to do with my coaching. But teaching is about timing, and you know, teaching patients of what they need to know when is an important thing, because you know, when you sit down and tell someone that you have a really hard diagnosis of cancer, they are not listening from that point on. So you need to take a break, let them digest that. Maybe another person needs to explain some of the things. So yeah, we're very, very grateful, and we're fortunate to have that here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For being here with me, teaching me some baseball, talking about stuff. I appreciate it, Matt.
It's fun.
And thank you all. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.
So I did everything.
See? Didn't hurt at all.
Didn't hurt playing.
I just had to test it.
Practice makes perfect, right?